Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the North Broward Preparatory School here in Coconut Creek, Florida. The rain may have dampened North Broward's home opener, but it has not yet whet our appetite for football. We are back and ready to go finally for this home opener bright and early against Westminster Academy. Hi everybody, Sam Gelfand here. Rain unfortunately canceled this game last night, but we're here as early as we possibly could be. If you're one of those people who gets up and jogs at 5:30 in the morning, I both envy and pity you. The rest of us are just here. But we couldn't be more happy to be here and bring you this contest. It should be a very exciting one. North Broward should be coming out of the tunnel any moment now. Westminster Academy just took a group picture. And here we go. Two teams fired up, especially the Eagles for their home opener, and you cannot blame them. The Eagles 0-1 right now. Westminster Academy 1-0. The officials are in the building, and so are both teams. So at this point, it's just a matter of time before this game kicks off, and we are so happy that you're joining us here bright and early, live on YouTube. Sam Gelfand here on the call, joined by a couple of my own student helpers whose names I will write down so I don't forget them. We'll be right back in just a moment with the coin toss and the national anthem. Don't you go anywhere. The coin toss is underway here at North Broward. And it looks like North Broward has won the coin toss, so they're going to get their choice on whether or not they want to kick or receive. Looks like Westminster is going to be going towards the far end zone where the scoreboard is. This is the 6th time that these two teams have met in the past 20 years, although it's only the 3rd time that they have played here at North Broward. In this series, the Lions have led this historically 3-2. If you take the average score going back to 2005, your average score is 26-25 Lions, but that's because North Broward had a couple of huge wins back before 2010. Their average score since 2015, 34-23 Lions. Now look at that thing at the bottom there. The last time that the Eagles won a game against Westminster Academy, 2016. Those were the Kevin Austin days. Some real talented teams that North Broward were able to field at that time. We are just about ready to get underway. I know we're having a problem with the sound system, so I don't know if we're going to have a national anthem. If we do, we'll stick here for it, and if not, then we're just going to get right to it. But either way, we so appreciate you joining us here live on YouTube. for this FHSAA Class 2A competition. Looks like North Broward has elected to receive, and we are just about ready to get underway here in Coconut Creek. Looks like the Eagles have the junior Braxton Bilo back to receive. And if you're North Broward, you can be nothing but fired up for the start of your home opener. Set to kick for the Lions, it's the sophomore Drew Barber, I think it actually is. No, wait, that's number 9. That's Gavin Patterson, the other kicker. Westminster Academy has 2 kickers. So we are just about ready to get underway. The cheerleaders are out, and even a few fans have shown up at this hour, believe it or not. It's for the love of the game, right? We're glad that we're able to provide you this service so you can stay comfortably at home, perhaps even in bed, and enjoy this game from the comfort and air conditioning. We're waiting to see what the holdup is. Both teams are lined up and ready to go. There's a problem with the scoreboard right now. It says second quarter instead of first, so that would explain the holdup. They're looking for a way to fix the scoreboard. The PA system went out at some point overnight. We're not sure why, and it's entirely possible that maybe some part of the scoreboard controls got messed up along with it. They're just going for it. Whistle is blown. There's Patterson, and football has returned to North Broward. That's Pete McLaughlin with the first carry of the year, at home at the very least. And North Broward will take over at about the 40-yard line. The tests continue for North Broward's freshman quarterback, Ralph Diaz. The transfer from Coral Springs Charter. Lined up in the shotgun. And he's going to take it himself. He finds a lane on the right side. That's about 9 yards, and a flag is thrown. Could be a holding call, we'll see. That's a holding call on the offense, and all that progress has just been erased. That's a shame if you're North Broward. You hate to see that. So now it's first and 20. An ignominious start to this contest. If you're North Broward, you got to play the hand that you're dealt. There's no play clock on the scoreboard, and it seems there may be some confusion resulting from that. There was a seriously intense storm last night. I don't know if any of you tried to tune into the broadcast when we tried to do it. It started with a lightning delay, and then an even bigger storm blew in about 30 minutes later and nearly knocked all of our equipment off of this press box. The game last night was canceled from what I was told by officials here. The game was canceled because the referees were not comfortable playing through the weather, although the all-clear was eventually given at 8:39 last night. And they're moving even a little bit further, it looks like. Oh, so that's what the confusion is. I'm not sure. The referees might not know if it's a 1st and 15 or a 1st and 20. Well, you know what? It's entirely possible that they're as sleep-deprived as we are. So I'm not going to blame them for that. North Broward will get started on the 40-yard line. A little bit of movement on this Westminster side as there's a handoff. And it takes several men to bring the Eagles down. That's Kenneth Hall on the carry. Hall just transferred from Deerfield Beach. This is his first year with North Broward. And now it's 2nd down. Back into the shotgun go the Eagles. Receiver in motion. And another QB keeper. Some excellent blocking. Taking him down is Gavin Patterson, the kicker. But Ralph Diaz is able to move the chains for his team. Or at least get close. Yeah, that's a 1st down. Let's look at it again. Yeah, that's more than enough. Diaz looking for confirmation on the play call from his coaches on the sidelines. A shift in the Lions defense, and Diaz thinks about throwing, decides to run again, goes out of bounds at the 39, and North Broward finds themselves on the opposite side of the field, something that they have seriously needed. Last game they were shut out 21-0 despite an excellent offensive showing by Diaz. Back into the shotgun. By low in motion. Diaz looking to throw. He drops a bomb deep. And coming down with it is Josh Sylvain. North Broward has their first touchdown of the season. North Broward is on the board. Now back to kick is Mateo Sanchez. Sanchez splits the uprights, and it is 7-0 North Broward. A touchdown throw from Ralph Diaz, his first of the season, and North Broward finds himself on top, a position they have not yet been in this season. So we'll be right back in a moment with a kickoff. Thank you so much for joining us here live on YouTube. Mateo Sanchez ready to kick off after North Broward's first touchdown of the season. And now Westminster finds themselves on the back foot. Sanchez sends it into the end zone. That's a touchback. And now we're going to get our first look at Cortland Brownfield, the new quarterback for Westminster Academy, transfer out of Woodlawn in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A 3-star recruit according to quarterback hit list. He has Division I offers from Bethune-Cookman and Grambling State as well. He has been a linchpin of this young Westminster Academy offense so far this season. Always good when you got someone getting D1 offers. But that throw sails high over the receiver. And North Broward's lucky they didn't get called for a late hit there. I mean, that looked like an accidental collision, but you never know with referees. Brownfield hands it off. In fact, he fakes the handoff, takes it himself, and North Broward was fooled as well. That's a good 9-yard gain. Third and inches now for the Lions. That took about 6 defenders to take him down. Brownfield's running like a truck. Third and 1 now. Sparse O-line doesn't matter. The Lions get stuffed. Looks like they're going to try to measure it. They did not make it. Or did they? They waved it off, but they're giving them the first down. I'm going to go with the whole refs are sleep-deprived theory. It would make sense to me. The Lions in the eye. Brownfield looking downfield, but he's got to look right in front of him. A flag flies. He takes it quite far, slides for a first down, and we'll have to see what that penalty is. It's a penalty on North Broward. Have to imagine the Lions are going to decline it. Take a look in the backfield. Yeah, there might have been some holding there. And these chains are getting moved. So they're going to give him all the yardage and then some. And you have to imagine that the Eagles, especially head coach Rex Nottage, not happy about that. He is currently pacing up and down the sidelines. Five receivers lined up for the Lions. We're looking at a quarterback duel today. 2 QBs who can sling it. Someone in the stands has a drum as Brownfield takes a handoff. Takes it himself. There's a wide open lane up the middle for him, and that's yet another Lions first down. North Broward having to devote so many resources to watching those 5 receivers that their offensive line is struggling to keep up. So it's 2nd down and 1. Another snap to Brownfield. He nearly gets caught, and eventually he is piled onto in the backfield. That is a group effort sack, but leading the charge, no surprise to anybody, is Ethan Phillips. Last game, Phillips had 8 tackles, and 5 of those were for a loss. As we're going to take a timeout, it looks like. And doesn't quite say, but I'm going to venture that's a timeout for Westminster Academy. You got to wonder how all these players are feeling right now. They were all hyped up and ready to go for a game last night. It gets delayed, and now they're playing in the early morning. Can't imagine many of them got a very good night's sleep. So it is 3rd down and 4 for the Westminster Academy Lions. Brownfield looking to his left. Diving is his receiver, but he can't get it. That is 4th down. Drew Barber didn't have much of a chance there. Looks like they're going to have to bring out the punt team. And back for the punt is Patterson. Patterson punted 23 times in 2024, an average of 40.7 yards. So if that average continues, he should give the Lions some decent field position. He has just enough time to get it off. And that falls at about the 20-yard line. So North Broward will take over. And we mentioned this is a quarterback duel. It's rare that you see a freshman starting quarterback, but that is exactly what North Broward is bringing to the table. That speaks to the confidence that they have in Ralph Diaz. He was a varsity starter in 8th grade for Coral Springs Charter. Back in 5th grade, he was an All-American. Averaged almost 12 yards a pass in his 8th grade season. He has all the potential in the world. Taking it himself, he spins through one, and it takes several more to bring him down. It gets about 8 yards on it. We did not see North Broward run too much in their last contest, and they seem to have decided to change that up. And with good reason, it's paying dividends. Diaz back in the shotgun. Handoff, fake throw, and there is clear skies ahead for Kenneth Hall. He's got a lot of open pasture. He gets all the way to the opposite 45. You know, last game, Hall's longest run was just 10 yards. He just demolished that. So the Eagles right back at it. Fake snap nearly fools a couple of Lions. It's a quick out over to Tanner Gilman. He's got to find some room. There's not much there, and North Broward is lucky if they're going to get a gain of 1. Play calls coming from the offensive coordinator. They're telling him to swing away from the looks of it. Do they realize we're playing football? Either way, 4 receivers out. And North Broward's in the shotgun. Motion from Walker. It's another QB keeper. And this time, Diaz gets demolished by Jack Scott. Could be a loss of yardage there. Jack Scott last year was an all-county honorable mention. So that's 3rd down and about 9 for the Eagles. Diaz can throw, we know it. Let's see if that's the call here. You have to imagine it will be. Low snap, and coming out of nowhere was Dylan Salata. There's nothing that Diaz can do but run it out of bounds. That's not a first down, but it shows some good heads-up play, some good veteran awareness from this young quarterback. Fourth and 4, and North Broward looks like they're going for it. I mean, they're up 7-0. They're in opposing territory. You might as well. 40 is an awful long field goal at the high school level. Diaz once again confirming the play call. And it looks like that's a delay of game. North Broward took just too long. And indeed, the flag was thrown, but it looks like they called a timeout just in time. So North Broward forced to take a timeout to avoid the penalty. And you hate to see it. That's, well, for as much credit as we're giving the young quarterback Diaz for having some maturity out there, that is, well, that's the stuff that maturity is supposed to eliminate. But that sort of thing takes time. It'll eventually develop. We're still at the high school level, and North Broward, if they're lucky, they're going to get 4 solid years out of Diaz. And you can't put it all on him. Some of that goes to the coaches. Some of that goes to the rest of the players, making sure that they're ready to get lined up in time. And we are back to business. Referee's given a talking to the offensive line, so perhaps that was the issue. Maybe the line wasn't set yet. We are quite far away up here on the top of the press box. Jacob Paul in motion, throwing on the run and overshooting Paul is Diaz. That is a turnover on downs, and Westminster will take over. A touchdown and then a turnover on downs. A bit of a seesaw start for the Eagles. And Brownfield is out hoping to do a little bit better this time around. And there's a delay of game call on the Lions. Oh no, that's offsides. Well, look, the play clock's not working on the scoreboard. Can you blame me? Either way, that's a 5-yard penalty. Now it's 1st and 15 for the Lions. Here's the snap. Brownfield looking deep, but he doesn't have enough time. He finds his target, though. That is Javaris Kaysen, the freshman. Goes by the name Speedy. He took a hard block to the legs there. Was there a flag thrown? Oh, near side there was, yes. And that's it looks like they did not like that shot block. Some of the fans here not too happy about it, but what can you do? That'll go against North Broward and will likely result in a first down. And those chains are getting moved. Don't forget, folks, we have a live comment section here on YouTube, and we're constantly taking a look at it, so share your thoughts with us, and if we like what you're saying, we might even read it out on the air. That was a very long penalty. That looks like that was a 15-yarder or so. So now it's 1st and 10 on the 48. Clock keeps going. Brownfield looking for direction. The Lions in the eye. And they're looking pass once again. More pressure from that defensive line, and taken down Brownfield is Ari Raines. That was a huge sack and a huge confidence builder for the North Broward defense. That is exactly what you want to see after a big penalty. There's a quick handoff, and it takes 3 men to bring down Rashard Lewis. Lewis with an angry run right there. And once again, Westminster sending everyone possible downfield. They love this 5-out formation. Just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Brownfield looking downfield. He's finally able to get one off. And Edward Schmandora immediately meets him there. Looks like he found DJ Pierce on that throw, and that moves the chains. First and 10 on the 34, North Broward's 34. QB keeper breaking through is Brownfield, and he is able to find some real estate. Another first down. If the Lions can keep working at this pace, this bodes well for them. Back to the eye with 20 seconds left. It looks like the Lions might want to wait out the clock here, get that last play of the first quarter. And Brownfield moving right, finds a target, and Chop Donald is finally taken down at the 5. He fought for that one. Clock stops at 6. No, it's going to keep going, and this will end the first quarter. Westminster will take over on the 5-yard line at the start of the second. So we're going to step away for a moment. Thank you so very much for joining us here live on YouTube for this home opener and this 2A contest. It's the start of the second quarter, and the Lions are on the 5-yard line ready to pounce. Brownfield lines up under pressure, and meeting him immediately is Thor Hwasta. That's an 80 grade name, by the way, and an 80 grade sack. Some good diving and dodging by Brownfield, but this Eagles defensive line is just proving too much for him in the early runnings. So this time he lines up in the shotgun. Rashard Lewis, the running back, to his right. Launches one into the end zone, caught off the tip. How about that? Javaris Kaysen, the freshman, with some incredible presence of mind. It was tipped by the Eagles, and he still managed to bring it down. So now it's going to be Barber going back for the extra point. You may be able to hear the lawnmowers that are directly underneath the press box. And that kick is good. It is 7-6. It is 7-7. We are all tied up just like that. Both offenses finding room to work and both defenses applying pressure. This has proven to be a great game in the early runnings, and we hope you'll continue to join us here live on YouTube as it unfolds. Don't go anywhere. We are back. Kickoff about to be underway. Let's take one more look at that touchdown scored by the Westminster Academy Lions. And Speedy Kaysen, the freshman wide receiver in the middle of your screen, catching a tipped pass in the very outside corner of the end zone. A real impressive display, and now Westminster about to kick us off. We apologize for the leaf blowers that are right next to us. They've got a job to do, the landscapers. And the Eagles have a job to do as well, trying to recover that onside kick. However, they do immediately, and North Broward got very lucky there. Thor Hwasta, who just got a sack a little earlier, now comes down with an onside kick. And by the way, you know, you may have heard of the term nominative determination, the idea that someone's name can help determine what they end up doing in their life. Well, this kid's named Thor, and he's 6'4", 195. If he was named Thor and he ended up like 5'6", then I'd say go by your middle name. Two men back with Diaz, and Hall runs directly up the middle, fights for about 8 yards. Hall able to build up a good head of steam before anyone got to him, and that helped generate a little bit of extra yardage. Good blocking by the Eagles' offensive line. Once again, two back. And another handoff to Hall. This time he cuts left, cuts even further left. It takes 3 or 4 guys to bring him down. That's a first down and then some. Hall is having himself a nice half so far. Staying in the same formation. If it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Hall keeps on chugging. This time gets about 5 yards or so. In North Broward's last game against Ransom Everglades last week, Hall only had 7 carries. Only got 8 total yards out of it. Only averaged about 1 yard a carry, so this is night and day for him, a totally different performance. He fakes a handoff to Hall, does Diaz. This time, throws the other way. It's Dylan Baxley who finds himself plenty of yardage, and North Broward is in the red zone. Baxley, a sophomore, this is his first year on varsity. And if he is able to continue playing like that, then that bodes well for the rest of his time on varsity. And a timeout has been taken by Westminster Academy. They've used 2 of their 3 timeouts this half. Last time these two teams met was August 30th, 2024. They played at Westminster. The Lions won that 40-13. Bit of night and day. We saw a couple of catches from Donald, but in that game he put up 152 yards of the touchdown, and we already saw a sack from Ethan Phillips on North Broward. He had 8 tackles in that game, 3 of them for a loss. But a big thing to keep an eye on is that in that game, the Eagles punted 5 times. The Lions only punted twice. We're just 3 minutes into the second quarter, and this one is already shaping up to be a fun one. We appreciate all of you joining us here live on YouTube. On the right side, lined up at about the 16, Diaz hands it off to Hall, who breaks through all the way to the 10. Ball spotted at the 10. That is second down and about 4. Staying in the split backs formation. Hall. Diaz gives it to Hall. Gets to the 5. That's a first down. And the Eagles are right on the front porch. Hall stands 5'9", 175 pounds, and he is using every bit of it today. Staying in the split backs. If it brings them success, they might as well. Coach is shouting, "Let's go." They're worried about that clock. As Diaz gets the snap, throws up the middle, nearly intercepted, but there is a flag on the play. And let's see if we can see what that was. I think that's a pass interference. I saw some holding there. So if that's the case, that'll creep North Broward even closer. Yeah, they're going to spot it halfway. They're at the 2.5-yard line. And it is a first down. Thirteen to 7, the Eagles lead. And it'll be Sanchez back for the kick again. It's automatic, and North Broward remains up by a touchdown. Good things happening for the Eagles right now. We'll be back as the Lions look to catch up. Sanchez back for the kickoff. North Broward scores once again, this time on a run by Kenneth Hall. The first one, a touchdown pass to Josh Sylvain. Both of them transfers, coming from a transfer quarterback. It's this transfer class that has been so pivotal for the Eagles. Lions back to receive. And he's got open pastures. How about that? Clear skies ahead. DJ Pierce takes it all the way home. An absolutely insane touchdown reception. They couldn't find him. He left the Eagles in the dust. And if you're the Lions, your prerogative was to catch up. Well, now here you are. Barber back for the kick. The line drive is good, and we are all tied up. It's a step forward and a step back for the Eagles. Same goes for the Lions. They are so evenly matched right now. But the Lions might find themselves back on the prowl. We'll be back with the kickoff after this. Experience has been something we've talked about a lot today. I'm not used to starting games at 9:30 in the morning. 30 of North Broward's players are on their first year on varsity. 16 for the Lions. That doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't played somewhere else. We've talked about the transfers, but it's at least their first year on the Eagles. The Lions have a little bit more experience from the looks of it, but they're about evenly matched in that regard. Keep in mind the Lions have about 10 fewer players than the Eagles do. Patterson sends it flying. Tanner Gilman tracks it down at the 5. He's looking for a lane on the left side, and he finds plenty of yardage. Goes up to about the 33. Probably weren't going to see another touchdown run like we just saw out of DJ Pierce, but hey, North Broward will take it. That is an excellent way to start off this drive. .6:53 left in the first half. These teams are so evenly matched. By the way, you gotta love the lime green cleats and gloves combination on Speedy Kaysen out there. You know, lime coloring is important for sporting goods because even if you're not fast, it makes you look fast. But I mean, you get called Speedy for a reason. He is fast. And that's a false start on the defense. Perhaps encroachment, to use the technical term. That's about as obvious of a flag as you'll find. And that should move the chains. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down for North Broward. Diaz back, under pressure, finds a lane on the left side, gets it off in time. He finds Kenneth Hall, who can't just run, he can catch as well. An easy first down for the Eagles. Yet another first down for the Eagles, and this is a far cry from what they saw in their first game of the season. It's like a new-look Eagles offense out there. North Broward had 191 yards of offense against Ransom Everglades, but they didn't score. Diaz looking deep. There is some holding there, and plenty of it. The flag flies. Josh Sylvain, the intended target. And I believe that was Preston Pacienza out there with the hold. So that pass interference should give the Eagles plenty of extra yardage. Look at that right side of your screen. I mean, he was tugging on the jersey. That was flagrant. And it is a timeout taken now, a full timeout by Westminster. I believe they're going to burn their final one of the first half. And that's probably necessary. I mean, to get your team back, to get your head back in the game after a flagrant penalty like that, the last thing that the Lions want to do is keep giving up more yardage. They haven't done it too much in their own season. I mean, they won their last game handily. But if you want to talk about wins and losses, the Lions have had a lot more success in recent years than the Eagles have. In the past 5 years, the best the Eagles have been able to muster was 500. They're hoping to turn that around this year. Lions went 5-4 last year, peaking with 9-2 the year before that. Diaz waiting for a sign. It seems there's no play clock today. Though they're still shouting hurry up as we may get some sort of audible here. Receiver in motion, and there's a flag. And the flag flew, but it looks like North Broward took the timeout just in time. Both of North Broward's timeouts have come out of desperation, trying to prevent a delay of game penalty. Now, I admit it actually depends on the state, and even within some states, it depends on the size of the school, whether you have a 24-second play clock or a 48-second play clock. I will have to check as to which one it is here. I thought I wouldn't have to. I thought it'd be on the scoreboard. So our timeout concludes. And the Eagles ready to rumble. Diaz takes the snap, a quick shovel off to Zephaniah Brammer, who is brought down in the backfield by Gabe Fuentes. That's a huge stop. A good look, but man, Fuentes was just right there. So the Eagles staying in the shotgun. Diaz fakes the handoff, and he finds Bilo, who's immediately taken down by Jalen Gabbert. Third down now. And this drive is looking very different from the Eagles' last one. Five minutes left in the half. Diaz sends Sylvain in motion. Takes a snap under pressure. Tries to go up the middle, going right, and there's a sack for Chop Donald. That'll make it 4th down and 12. And that may be a little too long for a field goal. We'll have to see what North Broward opts to do here. More chance of go. North Broward's going for it in the shotgun. 3-man lined up. Diaz can sling it. He's got a little less time now. He's got to run, and he's got an open corridor on the right side. He steps out just beyond the 10. 4th down, no problem. You can't ask for a better run from your quarterback than that. Spotted directly at the 10-yard line. Back to the split backs. It's a handoff to Hall. He goes up the middle and still fighting, but he only gets about 3 yards. Looks like North Broward staying in a hurry-up offense. It's an interesting strategy. We'll have to see if it pays off. A flag's been thrown. It's on the defense. You know, it's really interesting. North Broward head coach Rex Nottage does not have a headset on. I cannot tell you the last time I saw a head coach without a headset. But either way, North Broward right on the front porch again. They are right there. Diaz hands it off to Hall, heads right, and heads right into the end zone. 2 touchdown runs for Kenneth Hall today. Hall is moving like a man on a mission. Sanchez back for the kick. He is 2 for 2 so far today. And he turns that into 3 for 3. 21-14, North Broward stays in the lead. And they're looking to stay on this offensive roll. Can they keep it up? Only one way to find out. It is still sweltering out here in Coconut Creek. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube. The morning sun feels like the late afternoon sun. I mean, it is unrelenting, but that is August in Florida for you, even the last day of August. Sam Gelfand here on the call. Karen Nadler on camera. Hugo Szapoczy. Szapoczy. It's Hungarian. Hugo Szapoczy producing this broadcast. And Sanchez gets a touchback for his team, so the Lions will take over with decently favorable position. That's right, it's not just a multicultural broadcast here at North Broward, but multinational. Fitting, as North Broward is a partially boarding school. About 20% of the student population is boarding. And just beyond the trees to our left, there's a whole cavalcade of flags out there from every country which a student is here from, and there are quite a few. Brownfield sends his man in motion, and it's a quick handoff to Kaysen, and you see why they name him Speedy. That's 7 yards on a single carry. The lime green really does sell it. Another handoff, this time to the other back. And this time it's a little less successful, but it doesn't matter, it's a first down. There's still a fan somewhere in these stands with a drum, somewhere beneath us. Obviously, the turnout today isn't quite what it was last night. It's going to be a lot easier to get fans in the stands on a Friday night than a Saturday early morning. But a not unsizable number of North Broward faithful and Lions faithful have shown up today. Lions in the shotgun. Brownfield gets it off in time. And Schmandura, once again, is right there to meet his man. Clock is still running, though, on second down. The Lions not out of the woods, though they're comfortable to stretch this drive out and take them to halftime. North Broward with 2 men back. Make that 1 man back. As Brownfield is able to find Pierce without difficulty. And he is finally taken down on the opposite side of the field at the 49. They're going for a hurry-up offense, but if you're the Lions, I mean, that's as textbook as it comes. That's exactly the kind of offense that you want to see. Brownfield heads back, ducks the tackle, and is taken down by another. If the first doesn't get it done, Thor Huasta will. That's his second sack of the day. And that results in a timeout. Looks like a water break for North Broward. They've got 1 timeout left, might as well use it. Take a quick rest, finish the half on a high note. You know, coming into this game, I think we all expected Ethan Phillips to be the defensive star for the Eagles, but Thor Huasta is really having a breakout performance today. While the water's going out, a big shout out to our head athletic trainer here, Mel Kamhai. She's been here for well over a decade, and she does a fantastic job. Always arrives with an absolute army of student trainers. I think she's got like 6 of them out there today. I mean, it's football. I guess you need that many. But I swear, it's like even for volleyball, she'll still show up at 3. Hey, it's good experience. 52 seconds on the clock as Brownfield confers with his running back. I believe that's Lewis. Here's the snap. Once again, the dual blitz, but this time Brownfield's able to escape. He slides, and he might have fallen a yard behind, might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Either way, not the play that the Lions wanted to see here. But they're in the hurry-up. We got 30 seconds left in the half. North Broward's got 2 men deep. They're thinking pass. And 5 men indeed go. But there's Ethan Phillips with his second sack of the day. You know, some players practically worship the quarterback. Ethan Phillips is sacrilegious. Phillips pulverized him. And that'll result in another water break, it seems. Remember, water breaks don't count as timeouts. But it is extremely important that you do take them, so there are regularly scheduled water breaks throughout the game, and they don't count against each team. 17 seconds, there's enough time for one or two more plays. But it's fourth down. And if you're the Lions, I mean, there's no reason not to go for it. 17 seconds left in the half, might as well. That being said, they do have their kicking unit out. Clearly, I'm no football coach. A low snap. North Broward can't block it, though they do try, and that goes out at about the 38. 9 seconds left on the clock in the half, and North Broward will have enough time to get off a play or two. And boy, have they in this game so far. 3 touchdowns, something that North Broward's been in desperate need of. Now, that's at least relative to their last game. In the preseason, they played Marathon all the way down in Miami. They took that one 42-7. And if you want proof that Diaz can sling it as a North Broward quarterback, he threw an 80-yard touchdown pass during that preseason game. I remind you, he's a freshman. Kid's 14, 15 years old. He's throwing 80-yard bombs. What do they put in the water these days? In the shotgun, North Broward still taking their sweet time calling plays. And here's the snap. 3 men back. Diaz rolls to his left, stays by the sideline, gets about 6 yards on the run and stops the clock at 3 seconds. Hail Mary coming up. The band's not here, so I doubt we're going to get a halftime show. But rest assured, we'll be back after halftime with the rest of this game because this is turning out to be a good one. Diaz takes the snap. 2 men back. We're out of time. He lets it go onto the sidelines. It's incomplete, but it really doesn't matter because that is the end of the first half. North Broward currently in the lead, 21-14. A great showing against a very good Westminster Academy team with, I believe, 4 or 5 all-county honors in 2024. North Broward didn't return with any, so this is an incredibly favorable outcome for them. We'll be back in 17 minutes with the start of half number 2. Don't you dare go anywhere. We are back with the second half of this contest between the North Broward Eagles and the Westminster Academy Lions. Thank you so much for joining us here live on YouTube for this North Broward home opener, even if it didn't exactly happen on the day or time when we thought we were getting it. This has been a very pleasant surprise for North Broward so far. 21-14, they are in the lead. It looked like all signs were pointing to an explosive Westminster Academy offense, and it's not like they have been faltering in that regard. But North Broward has come out of the gates swinging. So far, Ralph Diaz is really holding his own. He's been throwing and rushing with great skill and ability. And also, we cannot forget about Kenneth Hall. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns already in just the first half. If North Broward can keep this offensive momentum up, it's going to spell great things for them, not just in this game, but for the rest of the season. So we're just waiting for the third quarter to get underway. Westminster Academy did their halftime meeting outdoors. I couldn't tell you what they were saying, but I definitely heard the head coach yelling. So you can draw your own conclusions from that at home. The only thing I believe I heard him say was, this should be harder. As in, we're not getting the stops that we should be, and North Broward is letting their offense run roughshod. Now, the fact that I heard that from about 100 yards away tells you how loud that the Westminster coaching staff was yelling. But we are about ready to get underway. The referee calling for North Broward's kickoff team to get out there. North Broward received to start the game, so now it will be Westminster Academy who will receive the ball first in the second half. There's actually a sizable crowd that has shown up here, but most of them are staying underneath the awnings trying to find shade and not out on the exposed metal bleachers because, as is tradition, it's about 90 degrees before the heat index here in South Florida. You would expect nothing less. Here's Sanchez, the kickoff. And it's a bit of a squib. Lands just in front of the 20-yard line. And right now, Kevin Gaston is making him work for it. He's broken through several tackles. Going down that left side corridor. He could outpace them. He is finally tripped up at the 30-yard line. And that is exactly how Westminster Academy wanted to start off this half. They have had a couple of huge returns in this game. One for a touchdown. You can thank DJ Pierce for that. Cortland Brownfield, the Westminster quarterback, back out there, lined up in the eye. And it's a run straight up the middle. Rashard Lewis stuffed. You know, every time I watch a football game, I always find myself wondering, why do you run it directly to where all the people are? But really, it's because it's all about how proficient your offensive line is. It's up to the offensive line to create that corridor because the quickest path between 2 points is always a straight line. So they go back to the eye now on second down and about 6. Might be 7. This time Brownfield drops back. Ethan Phillips! Third sack of the day. This kid's an animal. He's like a monster truck. You unleash him on the defensive line, it is maximum destruction. So now it's 3rd and long. Once again, 5 receivers lined up for the Lions. They like this formation as Phillips almost does it again. He gets an ankle, and Brownfield has to take a dive. It's extraordinary. Ethan Phillips, 6 foot, 215 pounds. And that's 215 pounds of anger directed towards quarterbacks. He's playing like he's got a vendetta. Brownfield doesn't look too shaken up, though, on 4th down. They're going to keep going for it. Might as well on the 30-yard line. As Brownfield under pressure again, and Ethan Phillips! They must have amnesia! They forgot he is him! Four sacks! A turnover on downs. North Broward takes over, and Ethan Phillips is the man of the hour. He has achieved defensive nirvana. And now Diaz takes over on offense for North Broward. Sends a receiver in motion. And it's a QB keeper. A flag flies. And he gets about 5 or 6 yards out of it, but we're going to have to see what the holdup is. The clock is also going despite the flag going. We'll see if they decide to reset the clock or not, but from the way everyone's standing around, my guess is that it's possible that that could have been a non-penalty, an accidental flag. No, that is very much a penalty, and North Broward's getting it sent back. So we're going to have to redo that entire play. And that's a substantial penalty as well. That's about 10 yards, so that was probably a holding call. And if you're wondering why I keep saying probably, please remember I wear glasses and my prescription is out of date. Snap to Diaz. And they're thinking the same thing again. Finds a corridor, and this time he's taken down after only about 4 yards. The excitement of that defensive showing for the Eagles is not exactly translating to offense in this drive. And football is one of those sports where the pendulum of momentum is ever so important. I mean, it is in every sport. Diaz thinking of throwing on the run. He unleashes a tight spiral, nearly intercepted and nearly caught as well by Braxton Bilo, but that goes off his hands and out of bounds, so disaster averted for the Eagles. Third and long now, third and about 15 or so. North Broward back to the shotgun, 3 receivers out. And someone breaks through. He breaks through. You can't break Diaz, though, as he slides out of bounds, and there's a late hit and a flagrant penalty. Diaz up. He's okay. He'll take one for the team, but I mean, that was kind of nasty. That's a roughing that's a late hit, a roughing the passer, whatever you want to call it. He got hit as he was going out of bounds, and that's going to be 15 yards. In defense of the players on the field, I mean, if you're charging in full steam ahead, as it looks like that was Preston Pacienza who got called, the freshman. That's his second big call on defense today against him. But if you're a player, you're rushing full on, full steam ahead towards your quarterback or any other player. I mean, once he goes out of bounds, it's hard to stop. It's not an easy thing to do. So now it's first down as Diaz throws a quick out. He finds Tanner Gilman, and Gilman keeps battling, gets all the way to a first down. A nice run from Gilman. Some good advanced blocking, too. Got to give some credit to Josh Sylvain. We're in the third quarter. Let's change that real quick. There we go. Diaz fakes the handoff. He's under a bit of pressure. A desperate block buys him some time, and there's almost another interception for the Lions. And looks like we may have maybe an injury on the field. Yeah, they're stopping the clock, and the trainer's going to have to come out. We might have a leg cramp. Yeah, they're giving him water, so it looks like it's just a cramp. He should be all right. I want to reassure you we would not be showing you that close-up if we thought it was serious. But it looks like the trainer's just going to work on that calf muscle. You know, when you're dehydrated, your legs are usually the first thing to go. Dehydration causes cramping. Cramping causes what we're seeing on the field right now. And that's, sadly, I mean, that's the risk that you take when it comes to playing in the South Florida heat. I mean, your dehydration happens so much faster here than pretty much anywhere else. As that player, it looks like it was Gabe Fuentes, is getting up off the field under his own power. So that is very good news. So now it is 3rd and 1 for North Broward. They did not give Gilman the first down. Diaz lined up in the split backs, and there's some encroachment. That is an offsides on the offense, and North Broward is not helping their own cause. Looks like one of the offensive linemen jumped. It was very subtle. Now in the shotgun instead of the split backs. North Broward changing up their plans. Sylvain in motion. Diaz throws, and another flag was called, which is too bad because Sylvain had an open lane, but that's another penalty. That's another false start on the offense, and North Broward is proverbially shooting themselves in the foot right now. So this will stay 3rd down, and what was a 3rd and 1 is now a 3rd and 11 on 2 straight false start penalties. And you got to imagine the coaching staff is fuming. Sylvain sent in motion once again. Diaz Benefits from the block, sends it way downfield, intercepted by Javaris Kaysen. The freshman making his presence felt all over this field today. A great read and an underthrow from Diaz. And that results in a huge turnover and Diaz's first interception of the season. Now, last year as an 8th grader with Coral Springs Charter, Diaz had 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions, so he's already done better than that. He also had exactly a 500 completion percentage last year. He came into this game with a completion percentage of 682. So now the Lions on offense, and Kaysen gets a pass. He gets a first down as well. I mean, hey, you get the interception, get the first throw, might as well. He's on fire right now. Everything is coming up Kaysen. And it looks like we're getting either a timeout or a water break. Going to look for the refs to see what their official call is. It's a full timeout for North Broward. And I mean, after an interception like that and then allowing a first down, what choice do you have? You've got to take the time to reset your team, recombobulate, and think some things over. We've talked a lot about the youth of both of these teams. Both of these teams extremely young. There's 8th graders on both sides, 16 freshmen for North Broward, 14 for the Lions, though the bulk of North Broward's roster is made up of juniors. The Lions have more senior experience, though, and perhaps we've seen a little bit of that inexperience on North Broward today as we have seen the slow pace of calling plays at the line. It's been a struggle for North Broward to get plays off in time. They've had to take 2 timeouts simply to avoid delay of game calls, but Westminster has had to do the same. The Lions back in the eye. And it's a handoff to Lewis, who is stopped after about 3 yards. Some words being exchanged there between the sidelines and the players. Now into the shotgun of the Lions. Brownfield fakes the handoff. Under pressure from Thor Huasta, he has to scramble and dive, and he gets the first down. Making lemonade out of lemons there was Cortland Brownfield. The ball spotted at exactly the 50-yard line. In their preseason contest, Brownfield went 12 for 18 with 191 yards and 3 touchdowns. He can certainly hit his targets as he goes back to Lewis, and Lewis struggles to gain about 4 yards. You know, it's like both the time and the weather are playing against these players right now. You've got an early morning start. I couldn't tell you the last time I ever heard of a 9:30 varsity football game. And then you've got the fact that it's 90 degrees out here. It's sweltering. Brownfield gets what he likes. Another run up the middle for Lewis. And once again, he gets about 3 yards. It's becoming routine for him. And we have a player down. That is Chase Thorburn, the freshman O-lineman. He was on the bottom of that dog pile, and he's looking a little banged up. An unlucky quarter for the Westminster Academy Lions. 2 injuries in the third quarter, none in the rest of the game. As there are trainers and what looks to be a doctor of some sort out there. Someone's in scrubs. But once again, it's a problem with the leg. Does not look like this one's a cramp, though. I don't want to speculate, but he was part of that big dog pile on that run, and it's very easy for something to get twisted. The coaches are coming out. The trainer's attending to his leg and looks like trying to set it in some way. I think we should step away for a moment. Injury timeout. Hoping for the best for the freshman Chase Thorburn as they're picking him up. Get him walking off, get him walking off. And Thorburn being helped off the field, but he is able to come off, so that's the important thing. Don't know if we'll see him for the rest of the game, but he is at least all right enough to be able to leave the field under his own power. No stretcher needed, so that's the most important thing. Could have been a lot worse. Either way, our game resumes. 3:52 on the clock in the third quarter. Westminster on offense. The Lions back to that oh-so-comfortable eye. In motion is Salata. Brownfield goes downfield, targeting Kaysen, overshoots him. Had the chance to be a big play, but there was just a little too much on it. That being said, it's a very good sign for a high school quarterback if he's overthrowing and not underthrowing. It means he's got power in spades. And that speaks well for his possible development in the future. So it's 4th down now. 4th and about 7. Substitution coming on the field. That is Richie Toronto, one of the many freshmen on both of these squads, coming in the wide receiver slot. And there's the punt from Patterson. Lands at the 25. They've fallen it at the 23, so that's where North Broward will take over in just a moment. A bit of a deflating drive for the Lions, having to punt it away and losing 2 players in just 1 quarter. And you can certainly feel it here. The energy has changed since that injury to Thorburn. There's a life that's sort of been sucked out of the stadium. But in good news, he's on the trainer's table, Thorburn is, and he's sitting up, being attended to, so should not be anything too serious, hopefully. And I believe that's a water break that is being called for both of these teams. So we're going to step away for just a brief moment. We'll be right back with more action after this. North Broward offense takes over at the 23-yard line. Diaz with a handoff, and Hall is quickly shut down, uncharacteristically. I mean, he has had a spectacular game so far. 2 rushing touchdowns for him. And now Hall is slow to get up. And that is not what North Broward wanted to see right now. You know, it's entirely possible that right now we're experiencing a bit of a... This is where the war of attrition comes in. With the midday sun overhead in Florida, there is a greater likelihood of cramps developing. There's a greater likelihood of dehydration. And it looks like it's just a cramp. They gave him water and he's hobbling off. So, Kenneth Hall should be good to go. Hopefully just out for a play or two. I'm no medical expert. I've just played one on TV. But our trainer, Mel Kamhai, is going to attend to him. He'll be good as new in just about no time. So it looks like it's going to go down to Dylan Baxley is next on the depth chart at running back for North Broward. And there is a handoff to Baxley. But he is taken aback. And North Broward doesn't gain much as 3rd down. Some clouds are starting to develop here, and that may be a merciful relief, not just for the players, but the fans here as well. It's supposed to rain again tonight, which is why this game has been rescheduled this early in the morning, is to avoid that another potential rainout. This time it's a QB keeper, and the Lions are fooled. Caught taking a cat nap as Diaz rushes all the way to the 48. I apologize. I said he got to the 48. He got further than that. He got all the way to the 44. And that could be a spark. And Rashard Lewis shuts down any hope of a spark that North Broward would have gotten off of that huge run. A quick sack for him. They tried the same play. This time he was ready for it. And once again, Diaz going to the sidelines for the play call. Shifts into the shotgun. About 45 seconds left more or less, in the third quarter. Sends Bilo in motion. Going back right up the middle, he finds Tanner Gilman. Gilman tries to cut. He keeps going. He's not done yet. He is finally taken out at the 10. A monster reception for Tanner Gilman. Look at the resiliency. You try to shut him down. He works on his own pace. Ten seconds left. Our clock is a little bit behind. This is likely going to be the last play of the quarter. 2-1, and that's it. Well, North Broward's going to take over in the fourth quarter at the 10-yard line with very favorable field position. But first, they're going to get a chance to talk things over and hopefully squash some of these communications issues. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this. We're back with the fourth and final quarter in this contest between North Broward Prep and Westminster Academy. North Broward on the 10-yard line, hoping to finish this drive off after a big reception by Tanner Gilman. Bilo in motion. Diaz throws on the run, overshoots Bilo. And that'll be second down. The Eagles at second and goal now. And it looks like they're shifting to the opposite hash mark. You gotta love parents who try to coach from the bleachers. They're passionate. Diaz rolls to his right. He's got a chance. Decides to throw to a wide open Josh Sylvain. His second touchdown reception of the day, and North Broward has a 2-touchdown lead. Except a flag was thrown, and that may not be the case. If you get blocked by this, literally just tilt the tripod. Yeah, literally just do that, it's fine. And the penalty, it looks like it means we got to do this again. This may be coming all the way back. Yeah, it's on the offense. North Broward not happy about it. Certainly not Kenneth Hall, who is back on the field. There's holding, and there may be offsetting penalties, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 once again. I suppose there could be worse results, but it can't feel good for North Broward having a touchdown taken away from them. No, they're sending it back. Okay, another holding on the offense. Third down. All right, so the play counts, and yeah, that was just offensive holding, takes it back to the 15, and it's a third down. Not the result North Broward wanted. Now Diaz rolling left this time, and he is taken out of bounds. A huge sack for Bobby Ruck. And now it's fourth down. North Broward's going to go to their kicking unit. A touchdown taken away, they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Lining up for it is Mateo Sanchez. According to Max Preps, at least, he has never attempted a field goal in a varsity game. But that one's got a nice chance, and it splits the uprights. Mateo Sanchez adds on 3. His first varsity field goal. And it was picture perfect. (24-14) now. North Broward still holding a lead, just a 10-point lead, not a 14-1 like they could have had. Westminster will take over in just a moment. Some very vocal fans here at North Broward saying, defense, you got to finish it. Get us a turnover. Well, I think they're going to try. I mean, it's kind of the point of football, man. It's usually a safe bet that a team will try to get a positive result for themselves. Really, regardless of the sport, when you think about it. I mean, you know, unless you're tanking for a better draft pick. Of course, it doesn't happen at this level. A beauty of a kickoff goes straight into the end zone. That's a touchback. And the Lions will take over. They've got a quarter or thereabouts to make up some ground. As the crowd here firing up with cowbells and drums. At least no vuvuzelas. Remember those from the World Cup in, like, what was it, 2010? Oh, right. I'm older than everyone else up here. I forgot. Some of you at home may remember the 2010 World Cup in South Africa where the vuvuzelas came out in force and all you heard for every World Cup game was But that was then. This is now. And Brownfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Lewis, and he cannot get out of Thor Huasta's way. He trucks him. Thor Huasta is playing with thunder, his third sack of the day. Second down and long now. About 15. North Broward's got a couple of killer linebackers out there today. Ten minutes left in the game. Brownfield drops back, finds a quick out on his right side, and it is immediately taken down by Christian Silverman. A good look but a better defensive read. Chop Donald didn't have much of a chance. Third down now. And they gained maybe a yard on that. So it's 3rd and 14. Salata in motion. Brownfield taking his time. Sends another in motion. It's a quick handoff. And Kaysen takes it all the way to the sideline. And he's shut down too. Rex Nottage, North Broward's head coach, fired up. A 3 and out in extremely favorable field position for the Eagles. Look at those coaches jumping around. Right now, Westminster Academy's in a house of pain as North Broward's jumping up, and getting down. The kicking unit is out. Toronto coming onto the field. I believe that's Patterson back for the punt. And a flag flies. From the furthest referee away as well. Let's see what the call is. Looks like it's on Westminster, so this one gets sent even further back, and now Patterson's job gets even harder. North Broward's gotten awfully close to blocking a couple of punts today. It would really change the fabric of this game if they were able to. And once again, it's nearly blocked. This one goes out of bounds at about the 43. Now, as the offense takes over for North Broward, I just want to take a moment and give a huge shout-out to our friends at Lynn University Ice Hockey, who have been extremely kind to us and have allowed us to borrow much of their broadcast equipment, including some of the cameras you're seeing and a lot of the stuff we've been using behind the scenes. They've been incredibly kind and generous to us and given us a great chance to continue to develop a broadcasting program here at North Broward that gets students hands-on experience at a very professional level. .750 on the clock as Diaz calls a play. And it's a handoff to Hall, who's looking no worse for wear, and gets about 7 or 8. There goes Hall again. He finds a little more room this time. We got a shoving match. And both sides are lucky that the flags did not fly, because a few more words spoken, and that easily could have ended up being a couple of personal fouls. Either way, Kenneth Hall moves the chains. And Diaz gives it to Hall again. This time he cuts left. Diaz blocking for him, and there's another first down. I mean, Kenneth Hall is running angry. And a flag is thrown. A very late flag. What was that? If it comes that late after a play, I'm guessing it's a technical. Usually a flag that flies that late, it's often something like, words being said that should not be said. That goes against Westminster. And North Broward's field position will only improve. Now, I do believe that here at North Broward, I believe we have the capability to mic up the refs, but the PA system is not working. Some factor due to the storm last night. So Diaz hands it off. And this time, it's not Hall. This time, Dylan Baxley, the sophomore, runs it in for another North Broward touchdown. That's 3 North Broward rushing touchdowns today. A beautiful run by the sophomore Baxley. And they're piling onto him on the sidelines. Sanchez ready for another extra point, and that is Baxley's first varsity touchdown. No wonder that they all crowded around him. Sanchez gets his snap and gets off another point after touchdown. It is 31-14. The Eagles are flying high. This could be a tone setter for the entire season if this keeps up. North Broward is feeling the beat out there. 31-14 in the fourth quarter, and we're halfway through it. As Sanchez lines up to kick off. Once again, I know we keep saying it, but we really do appreciate everyone who tunes in here live on YouTube. Another nice kick from Sanchez, and a fair catch is called. Kaysen wisely lets that one go into the end zone, and it's yet another touchback. Sanchez got a real strong leg out there. I mean, we've seen more touchbacks than returns. Although honestly, that may be a wise move considering that Westminster Academy has a kick return touchdown and then another return that went for like 60 yards. Maybe the touchbacks are a good thing if you're North Broward. It looks like one of the tents down on the North Broward sideline is struggling. Look at that. One of the legs is out. Quick discussion as to where to place the chains, and this one goes all the way to the 35. At this point, if you're Westminster, you've got a half a quarter to score at least 2 touchdowns to put yourself in the lead. It's doable. It's not impossible. But I would be lying if I didn't say it's difficult. And how come Westminster brought out their cheerleaders, but North Broward didn't? They got their cheerleaders up at bright and early in the morning. There's the snap, and Brownfield finds Kaysen. He is just short of a first down. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that the Lions got all of their cheerleaders to show up today. 2nd and 2 now. And Brownfield finds Kaysen once again. This time, ball spotted for a first down. His clock is ticking, though. Westminster is keeping the hurry up, but they might want to start targeting those sidelines. Run it out of bounds, buy themselves a little more time. I mean, sure, crunch time isn't yet, but you got to start thinking ahead. Brownfield looking long again. Gets out of the way of trouble, finds Drew Barber, and he is sent out after about 5 yards. This is North Broward's home opener, and, well, normally I would say there's no other way they'd rather be spending it, but I think they would have rather spent it last night. Brownfield taking a bit of time. And finds his man. That's a first down, but only a couple more yards than that. That is a stop at exactly the 40-yard line. Looks like you found Kevin Gaston. Now, North Broward's next game after this is a rare Thursday game. September 4th at 6 p.m. at Pembroke Pines Charter. And we're hoping that we'll be able to bring you that one as well. Barber targeted by Brownfield. 2 men on him. The stiff arm doesn't do it. He's taken out just shy of the 20. But a big first down run. That is that's a huge gain for the Lions, who are currently playing hurry-up offense. Brownfield back now, continuing to pass, except this time he's got to scramble. He slides and only gets a few yards out of it. A tough hit, too. And he looks a little shaken up. One of North Broward's defenders dove on him trying to get the official stop, and there was a little bit of head contact there, but that's why we wear the helmet, folks. You know, head contact used to be a lot worse in football. I was reading, believe it or not, the man who convened the conference, which eventually created the 10-yard first down and legalized the forward pass, was none other than Teddy Roosevelt, who was a big football fan when he was president and convened the conference to try to lessen fatalities at the collegiate level. Yeah, guess what? It's another QB stop for North Broward. This time credited to Emerson Walker. He's just a freshman. He's 6'5", 205. Kid's an absolute unit. He has an offer already from Syracuse University. Now, as a Syracuse alum myself, I must tell him, take it. Football team could use your help. He usually plays tight end. That was a big defensive stop by the freshman. 3:10 left in the game. And Brownfield is taken aback, nearly decapitated by Walker. 2 in a row. That is 3 Eagles with multiple sacks, and Brownfield is slow to get up. That's not good. The trainer's out, the coach is coming out. Helmet is off, and that's definitely not good. The last thing you want is for your star quarterback to go down in your second game of the season, and hopefully this is just a temporary thing. I mean, that was, by any definition, that was a nasty sack with some strange contact on the upper half of the body. And as, vicious as it was, at home, sometimes we find that sort of thing enjoyable, but it's certainly not when you're on the field. And, of course, our number one priority is to avoid injury, especially at the high school level where we're trying to develop talent and not shut them down. And if Brownfield is out for the game, then these final 3 minutes will be a huge test for the backup quarterback for Westminster Academy, Aiden Walhoff, who is just an 8th grader. Westminster has not gotten lucky with these injuries. But Brownfield is up and walking off under his own power, so that is great news. By the rules, he'll have to sit out for at least one play. But he looks to be more or less all right. He's leaning over. It might have been his midsection that got hurt. I don't want to speculate. But we're not going to show the replay, that's for sure. Back to the game at hand. It is 4th down. And indeed, coming out to play quarterback for Westminster Academy is the 8th grader Ethan Walhoff. He's number 5. Now, this is a promising young athlete right here. He's also a varsity basketball starter as an 8th grader. So the kid's got skills. Just young as well. And immediately, looking to prove himself, slings it. But that was shut down by Zeph Brammer. Just a little beyond Chop Donald, and that's a 4th, and that was 4th down, so North Broward takes over. 2:38 on the clock. North Broward has victory in their sights. Something they haven't tasted in a regular season game in over a year. Or actually just under a year. A win on your home opener is exactly what you want to set a standard for the rest of your season. I mean, fans are packing up and leaving in the stands right now. They feel like this is a surefire bet. Now, I will always say never. Anything is possible any given Saturday morning. And it's a little too early to start taking the knee, so North Broward's going to have to play some offense, but my guess is we're going to see a lot of runs. Dylan Baxley is out in the shotgun right now. It looks like Hall's day might be done. Getting a reprieve, and why not after his performance, as Baxley cuts left, and he is taken down at about the 36. It's going to be a lot of running plays. This clock's going to keep going. So North Broward's next football game is on Thursday at Pembroke Pines Charter. We're going to see what we can do to travel with the team and hopefully bring you that one live. But our next broadcast will be on Tuesday, 6 p.m. North Broward Volleyball plays Cypress Bay. That's going to be a fun one. So we hope we'll see you both Tuesday and Thursday. And if we cannot travel with the football team on Thursday, we will have volleyball against Boca Christian, same time, same date. Another handoff to Baxley. And he gets a few more yards out of it. And Richie Toronto gave him a little push as he got off of him. I'm not sure I like the sportsmanship there. 1:29, and a timeout is called. This one is just about over. You know, I had this for yesterday. We didn't get to change it, but whatever. I don't care. Let's talk about it. Here's what day yesterday was. Yesterday was College Colors Day. Show some school spirit. Should have found some orange for me. Yesterday was also the Qixi Festival, which is the Chinese Valentine's Day. And it was also the birthday of two people who are often spoken of in the same breath, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, and noted philosopher John Locke. Because naturally, when I think of Michael Jackson, I think of the social contract. And I think of his Locke's tabula rasa theory of human knowledge. Those of you unfamiliar, Locke wrote a treatise saying that every government should guarantee the right to life, liberty, and property. That may sound familiar. It was the basis for the U.S. Constitution. And there was a big fight for Baxley to get that first down. North Broward's happy to see it. The young guns coming on and getting it done. I mean, look at that resilience. That was a great run by Baxley. A minute left in this one. And it looks like they're going into victory formation. Diaz takes the knee. That's not even Diaz, actually. That's the backup, Sammy Kavari. We're going to take a couple of knees, and this one is just about over. With 30 seconds left, I feel confident in saying that North Broward has taken the victory. A home opener delayed, but no less fruitful. North Broward takes their home opener and collects their first victory of the season, 31-14 over Westminster Academy. This was not just a big win for North Broward. This was a statement win. Remember, they went 4-6 last year. Westminster has beaten them. This was their first victory against Westminster Academy since 2016. 9 long years, and they did it in stride. A huge win for North Broward in this one. So now we have to look forward to next week against Pembroke Pines Charter. Hopefully we'll be able to be there. If not, don't forget, tune in on Tuesday for volleyball against Cypress Bay. And we appreciate each and every one of you who has joined us for this entire varsity football contest. My name is Sam Gelfand, and on behalf of everyone here at the North Broward Preparatory School and the Florida High School Athletic Association, have a very good night wherever you may be.